So what is pollution to begin with? Well, pollution is the introduction of contaminants into the natural environment that cause adverse change. Many of the activities and products that make modern human life possible for us are really polluting the world. Even the places that are relatively untouched by 21st century developments are experiencing the effects of global warming. Pollution. Even the places that are relatively untouched by 21st century developments are experiencing the effects of pollution. Human activities contaminate ecosystems all around the world, from pole to pole, from the highest mountains to the ocean deep, to the air we breathe every second of every minute of every hour of every day. And I'd like to take this time to talk about all that. So first off, land pollution. Land pollution, the deposition of solid or liquid waste materials on land or underground in a manner that can contaminate the soil and groundwater, threaten public health, and cause unsightly conditions and nuisances. Sometimes it's caused by natural occurrences such as volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, and tornadoes. But most of the time, it's caused by human activities such as deforestation, mining, landfills, and industrialization. The waste materials that cause land pollution are broadly classified as municipal solid waste or MSW, construction and demolition waste or CND, and hazardous waste. MSW includes non-hazardous garbage. CND waste or debris includes wood and metal objects. Hazardous wastes include harmful and dangerous substances generated primarily as liquids but also as solids, sludges, or gases. Until the mid-20th century, all these solid wastes were generally collected and placed on top of the ground in uncontrolled, open dumps, which often became breeding grounds for rats, mosquitoes, flies, and other disease carriers, and were sources of unpleasant odors, wind-blown debris, and other nuisances. Dumps can contaminate groundwater as well as pollute nearby streams and lakes. And the effects of all these are horrific. Forests deteriorate, roads become more easily flooded, and our food becomes more and more exposed to harmful bacteria, which could really cause some serious health problems. Next off, water pollution. Water pollution happens when chemicals or dangerous foreign substances are introduced to water, including chemicals, sewage, pesticides, and fertilizers from agricultural runoff, or metals like lead and mercury. Litter in the world's oceans comes from many sources, including containers that fall off ships during storms, trash that washes off city streets into rivers that lead into the sea, and waste from landfills that flows into streams or directly into the ocean. Once in the ocean, this debris may degrade slowly and persist for years, traveling the currents, accumulating in large patches and washing up on beaches. Another cause is the use of pesticides. Use of pesticides and fertilizers on farms has increased by 26-fold over the past 50 years, fueling increases in crop production globally. But there have been serious environmental consequences. Indiscriminate pesticide and fertilizer application may pollute nearby land and water, and chemicals may wash into nearby streams, waterways, and groundwater when it rains. Fertilizers are not directly toxic, but their presence can alter the nutrient system in freshwater and marine areas. This alteration can result in an explosive growth of algae due to excess nutrients. This is called eutrophication. It's when nutrients such as nitrogen are added into bodies of water. The nutrient works like fertilizer and makes algae grow at excessive rates. The algae blocks light from other plants, and the plants die, and their decomposition leads to less oxygen in the water. Less oxygen in the water kills aquatic animals. This hypoxia, or oxygen deficiency, creates a dead zone where fish cannot live. More than 400 areas around the world have been identified as experiencing eutrophication, and 169 are completely hypoxic. Another impact of water pollution is the contamination of fresh water. Clean fresh water is an essential ingredient for a healthy human life, but 1.1 billion people lack access to water, and 2.4 billion don't have adequate sanitation. Water becomes polluted from toxic substances dumped or washed into streams and waterways and the discharge of sewage and industrial waste. These pollutants come in many forms: organic, inorganic, and even radioactive, and it can make life extremely difficult, not only for humans, but also for animals and other organisms alike. Next off, air pollution. Air pollution brings to mind visions of smokestacks billowing black clouds into the sky. But this pollution comes in many other forms. Industrial processes also emit particulate matter, such as sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, and other noxious gases. Indoor areas can become polluted by emissions from smoking and cooking. Some of these chemicals, when released into the air, contribute to smog and acid rain. Short-term exposure to air pollution can irritate the eyes, nose, and throat, and can cause upper respiratory infections, headaches, nausea, and allergic reactions. Long-term exposures can lead to chronic respiratory disease, lung cancer, and even heart disease. Long-term exposures also can lead to significant climatic changes that can have far-reaching negative impacts on food, water, and ecosystems. Air pollution kills more than 2 million people each year, according to a study published in the journal Environmental Research Letters. According to Mr. Seeley, the very young, the old, and those with vulnerable immune systems are most at risk from air pollution. Other air pollutants like carbon dioxide have an indirect impact on human health through climate change. If the situation worsens, then we haven't seen half of the consequences. Greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere will continue to increase unless the billions of tons of our annual emissions decrease substantially. Increased concentrations are expected to increase Earth's average temperature, influence the patterns and amounts of precipitation, reduce ice and snow cover as well as permafrost, raise sea level, increase the acidity of the oceans, increase the frequency, intensity, and/or duration of extreme events, shift ecosystem characteristics, and increase threats to human health. These changes will impact our food supply, water resources, infrastructure, ecosystems, and even our lives. The extent of our future climate change depends on what we do now to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The more we emit, the larger future changes will be. Toxic pollution caused by these greenhouse gases affects more than 200 million people worldwide. In some of the world's worst polluted places, babies are born with defects. Children have lost 30 to 40 IQ points, and life expectancy may be as low as 45 years because of cancers and other diseases. Now what good is it if I tell you all about the problem but offer no solution, right? So here's some solutions that I think are very effective. A very effective solution that I found is the use of green vehicles. A green vehicle, or a clean vehicle, or eco-friendly vehicle, or environmentally friendly vehicle is a road motor vehicle that produces less harmful impacts to the environment than comparable conventional internal combustion engine vehicles running on gasoline or diesel, or one that uses certain alternative fuels. Green vehicles include vehicle types that function fully or partly on alternative energy sources other than fossil fuel or less carbon intensive than gasoline or diesel. For people who can't afford buying a personal green vehicle, the Personal Rapid Transit Project could be an equally beneficial solution to air contaminant emissions. Personal Rapid Transit is a public transport mode featuring small automated vehicles operating on a network of specially built guideways. So, as for the awareness problem, emphasize lessons about climate change through the educational curricula. You know, teaching the next generation about the issues that really matter. And if this does become a reality, I just hope it won't be blind memorization of lessons in exams that test your knowledge. I hope it becomes like an interactive subject where students can apply what they've learned and go out and actually have a part in the fight against climate change. You should speak of and act as and be the change that you want the world to experience. Yes, it is nearly impossible to alter the continually rising course of pollution. Yes, it is nearly impossible, but it is not implausible. I am Plausible, implausible. It is not implausible. As an individual, you can do your part to alter that course. Problems have solutions. All of them do. Pollution is a team effort, so spread the word. My name is Felix, 10 Romans, and this is my project in science. Thank you, and God bless.